there's no point, trying to banter. There's no banter. I don't have enough energy for bantering. Do you have bantering energy?
No.
You have no bantering energy?
Not one bit left.
Not one bit of banter. Bit-o banter. Well, folks, it's a sad day, but there you've heard it. Not a bit of banter left do we have.
This is a very serious unauthorized caucus.
A very serious unauthorized caucus. Let me make sure we're everywhere, because we've got a lot of places. Oh yeah, you get to hear us through here. I'm just making sure. Everyone. Great. Well, looks like we're all up and running and going, and you're going to get some back end information today, because we don't really have a whole lot else to offer.
Yep, we're real busy because tomorrow things really get moving.
Oh, tomorrow today they're not moving? Pardon me?
Not for the world.
All right.
Tomorrow we move the world.
Tomorrow we move the world. We'll sleep when we're dead. Oh, welcome everyone to another Unauthorized Caucus. I'm Ryan.
I'm Mason.
And we are coming to you today from a not super sleep-deprived state, but we've been busy. And I know you've heard us mention it, but tomorrow is Eagle Council. Mm-hmm. Eagle Council 52, the 52nd year of Phyllis Schlafly's premier political grassroots conference is going on, and I'm excited about it because they're always good, but we really haven't, every single year was very similar in size and scope until 2020, and then all the events shut down. So we've been doing stuff since then and come back, but the big in-person events just haven't come back. And the nice thing is they're a little smaller now, and I kind of like that. You know why? We get a lot more conversation. There's more time for Q&A because you don't just have this giant room of people, unless you go to CPAC or one of the big national events. It just takes forever. But at a lot of conferences like ours, the crowds are smaller, so you can actually get up and ask a question. There's a discussion. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun to get back to the big program that we used to do.
Yeah.
And this is your first one.
This is my very first one.
Yeah, you've done collegians with us, but this is the first Eagle Council. You've been in school since we've known you.
Yep.
So you haven't been available. I'm looking forward to you being here with us. Let me make sure we got the chats going up and everything everywhere. Go over to the chat here. I know we have at least a couple of our folks are out of town, so the chats won't be as busy as they were, but we'll get back to it next week. So what should we do today? Should we just give them a rundown of the weekend?
Yeah, let them know what's going on.
That's pretty much all that's on our minds. So we wanted to make sure that we told you what was happening. And next week, of course, we'll have a little bit of a recap, trying to fluff off and not actually have, a content discussion here. But we're preparing for some major content discussion. Yeah. So first of all, let me say, we'll put this out there. I've still got a little bit of space left at the conference. So
it's not too late.
It's not too late. Yeah. I asked, and here's what I can do. If you shoot me an email, me or Mason, either one, Ryan@phyllisschlafly.com, I have been given a very small handful of complimentary tickets for our regular unauthorized caucus viewers. I know there are some of you, Phyllis, who couldn't make it. We're so very sad that you can't be here. I wish that I could give you one of these and get you here, but that aside, if you're in the area, if you're around St. Louis this weekend, we're about to run through the schedule. I'll make sure that we post it. Go to eaglecouncil.com. You can see it all right there, or at least the tentative schedule. Tomorrow afternoon, really Saturday night, Sunday morning, there'll still be some stuff, but the big program kind of closes down Constitution Day dinner Saturday night. If you're in the area, come on by. And if you would like to come for free, I can do that for very few people. Shoot us an email, Mason@phyllisschlafly.com, Ryan@phyllisschlafly.com. If we hear from you, we can sneak you onto that list with those few that I was given. So that's a really neat opportunity. But let's dive in. You want to talk about the schedule a little bit? Tell us what's going on. Give us some highlights.
Well, most importantly, we will be there.
We will be there.
Yes. We're going to go through these big names of
and
shakers.
We asked.
You're going to see us.
Yeah. The realistic thing is we asked if we could just do a broadcast of Unauthorized Caucus, especially unauthorized, especially caucusy. But pretty much our boss said no because he was just afraid we'd upstage him and a lot of the other people. That's really what it was.
Well, more so because if he had said yes, it would no longer have been unauthorized.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Does that mean that it was a wink, nod?
Yeah.
There we go. And see, he's on an airplane right now coming out here to the Midwest, but he can't tell us that that's not what he meant. So you never know. There may be a very unauthorized caucusy thing that pops up. But who? And all joking aside, who are we going to have? Who's coming in? Name us.
Oh, well, we have a lot of very exciting speakers coming up. We have Mark Houck. He is a Catholic pro-life leader. He is a writer, an author. He's a speaker for men's groups.
Yeah.
He does, kind of like spiritual uplifting speaking events for men.
And where they might know his name from, sorry, I'm scooting
Yeah,
ahead of you.
he's been on Ed's show.
He has, but I
Yeah.
was going to say he was in headlines because the FBI showed up to his house and dragged him out at gunpoint in front
There's
of his
that
wife
too,
and kids. There's that, and last fall, and he has been acquitted. Well, actually, they tried to claim there was some kerfuffle in front of an abortion clinic in Philadelphia
Mhm.
where like they tried to claim that he got into it with a dude, and I don't know if they were trying to go assault or something like that. But it turns out from videos that we've now seen, the guy got mouthy and vulgar with him. He stepped in front of his son, who was with him,
Mhm.
praying and sidewalk counseling, and this guy who got really mouthy. And someone tried to make an issue of it. The local court said, "Yeah, no, we're not charging this guy with anything. He wasn't pushing
Right.
the boundaries or trying to bring his son." So the feds came in and tried to make a federal case out of it, and he has been acquitted federal jury very
Mhm.
quickly, I might add, because the DOJ just stretched way too far on that
Right.
one.
Or I guess you could say the armed wing of the ADL.
The armed wing of the ADL,
Mhm.
yes,
The
that's
FBI,
true.
Federal Bureau of Investigation into defamation, allegedly. We also have Colonel John Idmo. I am very excited
Oh,
to
by
hear.
the way, Mark's running for Congress.
Really?
Yeah, that's what that's
Oh
kind
wait,
of
I
the big.
knew that. I knew
Yeah,
that.
we knew that. That's, by the way, welcome to sleep deprived Ryan and Mason. No, but that's the big thing is they came and dragged him out of his house, and now he's coming back to Congress to drag
Mhm.
some oversight into step.
Yeah.
So it's some really neat stuff. Looking forward to hearing from him.
Mhm.
Colonel John Idmo.
Yeah. That man has a beautiful. I cannot wait to hear him speak in person. He's an expert on a wide range of subjects. You know, constitutional law, the
Yeah.
founding of this country, the way that intersects with our faith, the Bible, the Holy Scriptures.
Yeah.
It's one of his books, right? Christianity and the Constitution.
Christianity and the Constitution. He's also got a big multi-volume set, the moral foundation, the moral and theological foundations, or moral foundations of law. I forget the exact name, but I mean, it's essentially a legal textbook at that level,
There's
that
3
weight.
volumes.
And there's 3 volumes. But he's incredibly learned. If you join us on our Friday morning Prayer for America calls, you're probably used to hearing him as well. I know he's been in our Eagle Council's past, but he's going to kind of, after we kind of get going Friday afternoon, he's going to really give us all right, here is the status of the Constitution, the Supreme Court. A lot of major things that are facing us, where this Christian heritage and our faith, which really drives the values of American liberty, where that intersects with the Constitution and where we are now. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. After that, let me pull up you've got your program.
Well, we've got Linda Rance after that.
I was going to say, Linda Rance, we don't want to reveal the whole. We should scoot around here. We don't need to give away everything.
Even though it's already all on the website.
Not the website. It's true. It is.
Yeah.
Linda Rance is coming. She's actually with what's the organization?
Cause of
America here in Missouri. She's going to come talk about not only talk about hand count paper ballots and election integrity measures, election security measures, but they're actually going to have a booth all weekend. Cause for America is going to have a booth, and they're going to be running an experiment and talking to people about hand count ballots. So that's actually going to be going throughout the weekend. That'll be pretty neat. I mean, this is one thing we talk about here in Missouri a lot because we've moved to paper ballots now for future elections. But this is, you want practical steps to take to your city of state officials to ask for elections to be more secure and more local. These are some of the main things. There's going to be a really neat presentation you want to come and see, and then experiment running throughout the weekend at the booth that they want to take part in. Friday night dinner, our God, Family, and Nation dinner is going to take place. 2 of our highlight speakers, Tiffany Justice. We've talked a little bit about. She's one of the founders of Moms for Liberty, but they've recently kind of come across one of Phyllis's older books, or an edited work, Child Abuse in the Classroom. And of course, Tiffany for school board, Moms for Liberty has made a huge splash on the conservative side, especially with the modern wave of parental rights. I'm really excited that they have intersected with some of Phyllis's work and are excited about that. So she's going to come and help us highlight that and talk about their work. She'll be one of our big dinner highlights, and also Alex Newman, who we've been on their program, they've been on our program. We've known Alex for a long time, and he's one of the foremost authorities on education. So he will fit in wonderfully there. We're talking about not just education in America, but the public education system in America. What's wrong? What we need to do? Where we need to go? So that big, we're going to talk about saving on Friday night. It's going to be a new thing, but we're going late.
Yep, we've got a movie night tomorrow night. Yep.
No, you bring your own popcorn.
Yes.
BYOP.
Yes, indeed. I don't think we're gonna have popcorn there.
No, there won't be popcorn.
So you're
Hopefully
gonna have
there'll
to
be
bring it
coffee.
yourself. But yes, 2000,
Right. If you haven't seen it, you should.
which
It's
I
very
haven't.
interesting.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's good. It's a film from Dinesh D'Souza and also True the Vote,
Mhm.
which is Catherine Engelbrecht and Greg Phillips. Catherine is actually going to be with us in person. She's going to hop on Skype. We get a special chance if you come to do some Q&A with her, and then we're going to show the movie, which I know some folks have seen, some haven't. But let me see here. That's our Friday night. Saturday, we're actually going to start. For those of us who regularly join the Prayer for America call on Fridays, we're not having that tomorrow, by the way, because we will be running back and forth getting all these things prepared. But we are going to do it Saturday morning at 8 in person. For anyone who can join at Eagle Council, we're going to have a Prayer for America time there. And then we're going to hop off into the rest of the week. We got good panels. I'm sorry, I'm kind of taking over.
No, you're fine.
But I mean, we're gonna talk about globalism on the march. Alex Newman's going to come back for that. John Schlafly is going to jump in. We have an education super panel.
Yes,
it's a super duper panel.
It's going to be very super. Very
it is going to be very super.
We have Ed Martin, one of the certified, I think, world record for the most educated man alive. So he's an authority on this. Cut it out. Yeah, he's pretty smart though. But yeah, I mean, he'll be there to get the whole thing going. Kind of spearhead that panel. But the guests on the panel are Sue Kuntzman of the Education Reporter. She started editing, I believe, in the late 90s. Took a break there for a little bit. The main editor in, what was it, 2017? Yeah. So she's been involved in the Education Reporter, one of our publications, for a while now. And so that's pretty special to have her on there because, through all those years, it's amazing the amount of controversies and happenings in the education world we've heard. So you'll be able to definitely bring a lot of experience to that. Tiffany Justice, of course. It would be absolutely silly if we did not have Tiffany Justice on the education panel when she is so involved in education policy. And we have Dr. Mary Byrne and, once again, Colonel John Eidsmoe.
Right. And that's John Eidsmoe actually has an incredible amount of knowledge in critical race theory, and not just from the educational perspective, but I mean that's where as a constitutional legal theologian, as a man of these things, he puts together an incredible discussion about CRT for us to understand, and that really needs to weave into what's happening in schools. I mean, that's one of the main things that is being put in behind the scenes, underneath all of the educational standards, underneath all the curriculum, is this critical theory. Critical race theory is one of them. We've talked about it here. Neo-Marxists are at fault for all of this, for the most part. Like this movement farther and farther down, shifting cultural principles Marxist, shifting education Marxist, shifting everything toward a state-centered, state-controlled system. And critical theory is a very key component of that because that's the vehicle by which they can criticize and tear down any institution that exists that they don't like. Just call it inherently bad, inherently racist. Critical race theory, the system is inherently racist. But that critical theory is a much broader term. So there's a nugget for us all to consider. That's really a neo-Marxist vehicle forward to destroying the institutions and making them their choice. That ties in. And then, of course, Dr. Mary Byrne, if you're not familiar with her, she's mostly based here in Missouri, but man, she is. If there's a Guinness World, record for one of the most well-educated and well-rounded, she is in education everywhere. She's a lobbyist. She's a former educator. She is into all of the issues. I don't think I've ever seen anyone ask her even the most obscure questions related to education that she could go with a white paper right then and there off the top of her head that she's written. Like, she's incredibly knowledgeable. And I'm really excited to have her as a voice on that education super panel.
Yeah, so that panel is going to pack a punch. If you can make it, you do not want to miss it. It is going to be phenomenal, fantastic. And then after that, we have the Hold the Line for Life lunch,
right?
For the RNC for Life, pro-life lunch, and we will have some speakers giving addresses there.
Yeah. Marilyn Shannon, who's our board's chairman. She's actually one of the original co-founders of the Republican National Coalition for Life. with Phyllis Schlafly and some others. That's the one. These are the folks who drove the Republican Party toward the pro-life position, got it in the platform, demanded that it not be changed, and they've had incredible success. So we're happy that not only is she here with us, why am I hearing dings? What in the world is going on? I hope that we're having interesting stuff. I hope this bode's not in any way, shape, or form connected to the weekend. We'll say the NSA is messing with us. I keep hearing our camera ding.
Yeah, I think we are frozen.
Well, we were frozen. Looks like we're not frozen on Rumble anymore. We're back.
We're back.
All right. This is why hardwired internet matters. And even then, we really are in a million places. Sorry, folks. How did you describe it yesterday? Have you ever done 4 things at the same time, all at the same time, and forgotten that you were actively doing something while you were actively doing something like that?
Like actively doing like a 30-second, but it takes you an hour because you are doing so many other things at the same time.
We have been keeping a secret for a while, but we're not keeping a secret now anymore. She's been informed, so we can say here we're very excited to give the inaugural Phyllis Schlafly Defender of the Family Award to Bev Aylen. Ms. Bev Aylen has been an incredible force in Missouri politics for a long time. She's on the state committee. She's part of her county. I think she's the chair of her Republican Central Committee there in Warren County. But she was the state director for Concerned Women for America for a long time. Everyone in Missouri politics knows and or fears Bev Aylen, depending on which side you're on, because she knows people. She gets things done. She shows up. She gets other people to show up. So on the lobbying side, the legislative, the legal side, on the electoral side, Bev's there. And if you want to know if someone's good or not, I mean, she's one of the first people I know many of us in Missouri call. So we're very excited. We've thought of this Defender of the Family Award, some sort of achievement level that needs to be met for a while, and we're really excited for her to be our first recipient of that. I think she embodies the principles of Phyllis, tireless working across the issues. That'll be neat. And then we have a special guest from across the pond. I'm going to make you do this one.
Tracy, I believe, is the most. We really struggle with the pronunciation from Poland.
Polish names are difficult. I will admit, I'm not Polish, so I can't. It's just not natural. But
they're always pronounced like they're spelled. That's the thing.
That's generally not true, but okay if you say. But he's coming from all the way across from Poland. He works for an NGO there. I don't know the name of it. It's not in front of me. It's in front of you.
Ordo Iuris.
Ordo Iuris. They are a big pro-family, pro-life NGO. And just from a quick Google and some translation, they seem to hack off all the people in Europe.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat. We're going to get a little bit of a report from him. I know we've had some folks from Poland, from Hungary, from Germany over the years. Some of the conservatives actually working. The Conservative Party is often not that conservative in European politics. Some authentic pro-family conservatives that have come over time to time. I'm excited to have that in again as well, especially on the life and family front. Poland and Hungary both nationally make the news, at least in Europe, for some very staunchly pro-family, pro-life things. Very different than the rest of Europe, which we would consider much more secular and liberal at this point. So that'll be a neat combo there to get in alongside a lot of our local folks here in Missouri, here in America, doing similar work. And then let me see here. What are we going to do? The rest of the afternoon we'll pop off. We've got a good panel. The power of the local precinct, the local committee, the local work. We've got some good folks. Dan Schultz, John Putnam are both from the Precinct Strategy. Is it project or just Precinct Strategy? Precinct Strategy. Colonel John Mills, retired, is going to be here. He's an author and also does an incredible amount of the local stuff. We've got some folks from Madison County, Illinois, where they dealt with drag queen story hours and come over and talk to us a little bit. And then a couple of big speakers after that. Garrett Ziegler. You may not know the name, but Marco Polo USA, Marco Polo Research. These are the folks behind the Biden laptop, the ones who've categorized it, published it, put everything down, and tagged it all, and made the connections for us and made the case. A lot of the stuff that's going on, and even though it's very quiet now, it's kind of starting to move its way through being prosecuted. Well, not being prosecuted, but stuff is still coming. It's, despite the best efforts, we should say, of the swamp, that is still coming to bear, I think. And thank you to Garrett's work. A lot of that is at the foundation of this crazy laptop that was in chaos and disarray. They put it together and made it coherent, stream of understanding of all of these different text messages, emails, photos, documents. They've done an incredible amount of work, and they've had to sludge through some sludge
Mhm.
to get there. So you want to hear from him. He is wanting to bring oversight, transparency back, and he's pushed forward. He was out of the um, not Biden White House, out of the Trump White House. He
Right.
worked in Peter Navarro's office, trade office during their. Oh yeah, Bev Allen is super. She was wonderful. Oh, and the CWA state director from California, former CWA state director from California is on and knows Bev. She's good.
Nice.
She is good. But let me see here. After Garrett, Todd Bensman. We got to have an update on immigration. We're going to have a good little town hall style and a fireside chat, whatever you want to call it. But there is no one better on immigration, the border issues, and how that ties in not only to our economy, to border security, but to military and national security issues, to terrorism, to all of the different things. Todd has his finger on the pulse of all of those. He's coming up from Texas to be with us live. And I'm excited about that. And then Friday, we're gonna bring everything. We will make no mistake, by the way, as an aside, we will all be here on Sunday still, Sunday morning. But that'll be a good time of wrap up. We'll have some reports and networking from our Eagle leaders. This will be a little bit more small and intimate, but our last big program will be wrapping up the Constitution Day dinner, Saturday night, due process denied. We're going to highlight some neat stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic dinner. We're going to have Derek Evans, who is a patriot of the events on January 6th of 2021. That was 2021, right?
2021. Yeah.
Wow. It seems like
Well,
yesterday.
because it's related to. I always do that too because it's related to the 2020 election, but
Yeah.
it's 2021, just barely.
Right. And
Yeah.
also that seems so far away from where we are now.
It
But
has been a while, and it is still going on.
yes, but he was Derek Evans was a former member of the West Virginia House of Delegates prior to
Right.
January 6th. We also have Cynthia Hughes of the Patriot Freedom Project.
Right.
If you haven't heard about them, they're doing very important work for the families of the defendants who are being unfairly prosecuted after the January 6th protests. And then we have special remarks from Captain Deplorable himself, who
Sean
yeah,
Barish.
one of the two. I watched a few
Sean,
of his
if you're
videos
watching
today. They're hilarious.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. We'll have him. There's going to be a lot. We'll have actually. I believe that there's going to be some January 6th families will be there. By the way, we are doing. If you go to eaglecouncil.com, you'll see we're doing a gift card drive. We want to plug in with Patriot Freedom Project, who has financially supported a lot of these defendants. These aren't people of great means that can just go out and buy flashy lawyers to get them out of jail. These are folks who have been beholden and stuck under the thumb of abusive prosecutors. Their families have been without one of the breadwinners or the breadwinner. And there has been a lot of work to try to support these folks in their legal battles and to try to support their families who are stuck back at home trying to make ends meet. So from 4 to 6 o'clock, anyone who'd like to drop off gift cards, we've got a flyer on that on the website. Go look at it. National retailers and grocery outlets, of course, trying to make sure these go to different places around the country, not your local stores. But if you would like to plug into that, if you would like to come to Eagle Council as well, or even if you can't, that's still something you can plug into. We'll have some information after the. We still want to, coming into this holiday season, do what we can from the Eagle side to try to help Patriot Freedom Project's efforts as they are rolling into their holiday season. To your point, it's been years, over 2 years now. Some of these folks are still in jail. Some of these folks haven't had sentencing, and yet their families are still at home, stuck, waiting for this endless timeline without end. So we're going to plug in and help them. But excited that some families are there. Some of the defendants, Derek is going to be there. Some others, Cynthia, who heads this up, she has family that's embroiled in this still. And then, of course, Sean and a lot of other good people plugged in with them. Sean is hilarious. He's one of the best Trump impersonators on the internet. I got to say, I found him before. I found him not before then, but I found him before he started plugging into some of these events, and I was a follower. And I was like, I know him. He's good.
Yeah.
So he'll be with us, and that'll be a good time as well.
Trump voice impersonator, I think.
A Trump voice, yes.
Yeah, I was sorely disappointed when I saw him and was like, this man is.
That's a little uncalled for. I wasn't disappointed. Sean, if you're watching,
only because I expected him to look like Trump. But not that.
If you close your eyes, it's
anybody looks
pretty
like
close.
Trump. Well, close your eyes.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's exactly where I was going. Anyway, that'll be it. We're going to talk due process denied, which is, of course, one of the major themes there of the Patriot Freedom Project. And I mean, when you talk about citizenship and the Constitution itself, that we are facing one of the most outright and just disturbing assault
hmm
on our constitutional rights, on our status as citizens
hmm
in this January 6th. And the thing is, it's one of those I feel like everyone talks about, yo, they're doing it to Donald Trump and this and that and the other, and they're going after the public figures. It's one thing to say, well, if they're doing it to them, they could do it to you too. You know, they are already prosecutorially speaking persecuting American citizens like you and me,
hmm
not the Donald Trumps of the world.
Right.
Regular, normal, everyday, average people who go to work, make a paycheck, pay their bills.
Right.
This is not the public figures.
And not even for just trespassing at this point. It's even
No.
like it's just speech. Like Owen Schroyer,
Yeah.
the Infowars guy.
Yeah.
He was not trespassing in the Capitol. He's going to have to spend some time in jail simply for saying that he believes that the 2020 election was kind of fishy in some places,
Yeah.
and that some things weren't counted in probably the most correct way that they should have been counted.
Right.
And now that saying your opinion about an obviously fishy election can
Right.
now land you in jail.
I mean, literally, the powers that be are throwing American citizens in jail for dissenting to the popular, not even doing anything, just saying, I don't believe.
Right, which is terrifying as we, shoot this out into the internet.
Well, it is.
You
I mean,
know?
America was founded upon the principle of dissent,
Right.
arguably. I mean, they're more than that, but we dissented from what was the narrative, the prevailing narrative. This is how it ought to be. No, I don't believe that. I'm not going to do that. That's kind of where we came from. It seems that ought to be protected, especially when they're doing anything violent or anyone else violating other people's rights, big core things. And to your point now, it's not even just trespassing and misdemeanors that what should be a fine and a slap on the wrist for someone without a record has turned into months and months and months and years in prison, huge sentences for some of them. But now that it's people who aren't even, trespassing, misdemeanor, obstruction of whatever some of the things were, they're actually grabbing people now and putting them in jail and doing stuff. It's nuts. Like, this is absolutely nuts. And it's not the big public figures that have billions of dollars at their expense and highfalutin lawyers. It's the yous and the me's. It is actively happening, and that's terrifying. So if we're going to talk about the Constitution and celebrate it, we need to understand the biggest threat to it today, of which there are many, but this is one. So that is going to be a big highlight, kind of wrap up, which, of course, it's not going to be all down. What are we doing about it? What can we do about it? And then, of course, Sean is going to give us some, we're going to celebrate a little bit of enjoyment, comedy, one of the greatest forms of free speech. We can't have, you can't always have the Babylon Bee. We've had that before, so we gotta mix it up. There we go. It's going to be a good time. I'm sorry, we're just running you through the schedule, but this is what's on our mind.
Yep. And lots of interesting stuff is going to be happening over the next few days. If you get the chance to come by, you're going to get to actually experience this. So we wanted to make sure that you were fully informed on, make an informed decision whether to come or not to come, and let you know what you'd be missing out on if you are not able to.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be there if you can. So, like I said, shoot us an email. And I also see, I'm trying to catch up here. There's a lot, man. Y'all on Rumble, go faster than I can keep up while I'm actively talking and trying to read at the same time. So, people, yeah, I would love it. Everyone's talking about it. Council, yeah, if you would come, even if you're not able to come, or if it's not one of the ones down here, if you'd like to come, if you're watching this, anytime on Thursday, we can still fit you in. I've got some tickets. Like I said, given a special small group of tickets for our unauthorized caucus viewers. Shoot us an email, Ryan or Mason at phyllisschlafly.com. We will get you on the list. We will get you in if you're in the area and able to make it. I see someone else. Yeah, there's Valen after Eagle Council. Okay, I see people down here trying to make connections. If you're trying to make a connection with someone else, if you're part of that chat, email me, Ryan at phyllisschlafly.com. We'll get everyone connected in the background. Because some of you are emailers with us now and others just out here in the chat. We'll give us your screen name on the email. We'll make sure that we get everyone plugged in the right direction. Because this is this is what Eagle Council is about. This is what Eagle Council always has been. This is I don't even know. I've been going to Eagle Council now for almost 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one to sink in.
That's about as old as I am.
Close.
Yep.
It's pretty close. Old man now. I've been going to Eagle Council for almost 20 years.
You've been going to Eagle Council since I was a toddler.
My first Eagle Council was 2005.
That's incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you were the ripe old age of what? 4?
Yeah.
Young whippersnapper. We will be having a great time this weekend. What we've described to you is the program. That's what's going to be happening up on the stage. That's what's going to be happening in the room. But there is so much going on in between sessions, out in the hallways, at the meals. I have met, what did Phyllis always say, that there's incredible people at Eagle Council. Please come and make these people your friends too. I have met some incredible people and made some incredible contacts. There is just an awesome networking opportunity to be at these events because you go to the big CPAC, the cattle calls. I hate to call it CPAC. It's just the one everyone knows. But there's big conferences all over the place that do cattle calls. Everyone, presidential candidates speak. And those are good. Those are fun. I enjoy those. But there's a whole different thing. And that's what Eagle Council has always been. That's what we're doing this year. It's smaller, more intimate. You're able to get questions and answers. You're able to meet people and actually take a contact that is valuable. You're able to find the places you can plug in and do something. You're able to hear from people who are on boots on the ground. Not that political candidates aren't. They are. But boots on the ground, grassroots activists. That to me is so cool to see, to meet, to get plugged into, and it's an opportunity unlike anything else. So email us to come this weekend, and if you can't, we will make sure that we have a big save the date out really early for next year. Mason, I know you just came on board, so we're kind of getting everything going here, but it's a really neat opportunity. It really is. I hope that all of you can make it, if not this year, in the future. And it looks like I think we've answered all the questions. If we haven't, shoot us an email. Mason and Ryan, or info@philschlafly.com. So you got some discussions about California bills. There's a lot of stuff going on, but shoot us an email, shoot us a contact. We're going to go back to running around and getting everything ready for you all who we're going to see. And if not, don't worry. There will be some accounts of what has happened. We'll come back with the information, and you won't miss all of it, even if you can't come this weekend. We'll put your back and let you know. So it'll be good. All right. Anything else for the good of the order?
All. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
We actually went off of a schedule. It's not a very unauthorized feeling caucus this time.
Next time we will go off of a schedule in Swahili Pick Latin, and that will be very unauthorized and indiscernible. But yeah, see y'all then.
On that note, thanks for joining us, everyone. We won't get punchy after the event, but we got to go a little farther than this. We'll be fine. We'll go refill some coffee.
Yes, I need coffee.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, and we will look forward to seeing you next Thursday for another very unauthorized caucus after Eagle Council is over, and we'll get back to normal and get down into some of the topics. So, thanks for being here. Shoot us an email. We hope to see you this weekend.